Hey, this is Zach with Karcher. Today we're going to talk about the Jarvis 4.0 Surface Cleaner. Typically when we're doing flat work and pressure washing in exterior buildings and maintenance, typically what we have is a standalone pressure washer, we have the hose reel, and then our spray line, and then a surface cleaner attachment. That creates a lot of unnecessary equipment and clutter. What I really like about this machine is that one garden hose attachment will take care of all of your pressure washing needs, including the flat work. This unit comes standard with a 420cc Karcher engine. This engine is covered by a 4-year warranty and a 7-year warranty on the pump. To give you a peace of mind, this unit is going to last for the long haul. The Jarvis comes standard with the proper jets already pre-installed, eliminating any guesswork for the operator. This allows me to train any new operator within about 5 minutes on how to properly set up and use this machine to give you fantastic results. Because they're pre-installed, there's no risk of using the wrong jet and etching concrete. The only training that is absolutely critical is to make sure that when this is depressed, to activate the surface cleaner, that this unit is moving in a forward direction. That reduces the risk of that surface cleaner being activated and spinning and etching the concrete. So as long as your operator understands that if this is pressed, we need to be walking forward, there is no risk of etching concrete or the surface that you're cleaning with the surface cleaner, making it extremely simple to train. All right, guys, now that I got you in a little closer, let's take a look at this. As I said earlier, this handle here is when this is depressed, the engine's running, we have a water supply properly hooked up. When we depress this, this is what activates the surface cleaner. Here we have a conveniently placed hook. When we have our garden hose connection hooked up to the pump, this is where your garden hose is going to be hung. I typically like, when I'm doing large areas, I like to put that hose over my shoulder just to make it a little easier and more manageable to control. All right, now I got you guys a little closer into this pump. As you can see here, this is an oil-filled commercial Karcher pump. So we have a convenient sight glass to ensure that the unit is properly filled with oil. It's easy to change here with this drain plug. On the other side here, we do have a relief valve. So when this unit is idle, it's a good idea to shut the unit off if you plan on idling it for a long time. If you don't, what will happen is water circulating, that valve will open and allow hot water to exit the pump, because that water is actually what's cooling the pump when we're idling and we're not actually spraying any water. So this unit is designed to protect itself, but like I said, it's always a good idea if you're not using it for more than 5 minutes to go ahead and shut it down, just to prevent that pump from heating up. Like I said, this pump has a 7-year warranty. It is a commercial pump. It's going to last you years to come. All right, I got you guys in a little closer to take a look at the front of the engine here. This is a 420cc Karcher engine. This is going to come with a 4-year warranty, so we're really standing behind this unit, so it's going to serve you for years to come. Up here on this control panel, we do have your throttle control, we have choke and gas on and off, and I always recommend turning that gas off when we're transporting in our truck. Okay, I just want to quick note this maintenance point. This unit is really well designed, and it's very easy to maintain this, which is just going to increase the service life of the unit. This is going to be your grease zerk fitting that we should be putting grease in here on a regular basis. What that's going to do is that's just going to keep that bearing properly lubed, and it's going to let that bearing last as long as possible. As that bar is spinning underneath the surface cleaner, that's creating a lot of friction. It is a dirty environment, so it's very good that the engineers that designed this, they thought ahead and they installed that grease zerk fitting. So as part of the service, I'd recommend putting some grease in that every time we change the engine oil. Just going to keep the unit lasting a lot longer. Now I've got you kind of zoomed in here onto the hose rail. So this is going to be 50 feet of 3/8 high pressure wash hose. This hose is very flexible. It doesn't kink. It doesn't wind up on you. We have a lock here, so when we're in transport, we can actually lock this hose reel so it's not unraveling when we're in transport. Something that I really like about this unit is the engineers really thought about placement of the spray trigger. We've all kind of used a pressure washer, from a big box store. There's no place to properly secure the trigger, so you're just kind of dragging it around, causing damage to the trigger. So what we have here is we actually have a proper place to store the handle, which I really appreciate, and I think you will too. Now that I've got you zoomed in on the side of the engine, I want to talk about a few things here. One of the things I really like about this unit is how easy it is to change the oil. The engineers installed this easy drain tube. So all we need to do is we need to remove this bolt, drain that oil into a container, put that bolt back in. It takes a few minutes. Our oil check is conveniently placed here on the side of the unit. You're on off. So when we're done using the unit, we're ready to shut down. We're just going to turn that to the off position. And this unit also has a low oil shutoff sensor. So if for some reason this unit ever runs out of oil, that unit's going to protect itself and automatically shut off, saving you from costly repairs. All right, I just want to quick talk about the Karcher Easy Force Trigger. This is a really cool piece of engineering, and it really does reduce fatigue. This is a big wand, and as we have our arms extended and we're doing our pressure washing, that puts a lot of strain on your arm, puts a lot of strain on your hands. So what the Karcher engineers did is they designed this Easy Force Trigger. You basically have this safety. We're going to push this, and the momentum of that water coming out, the high pressure, actually puts pressure back into your palm, and that's what keeps it activated. All right, I'm just bringing you in here a little bit further. I tilt the machine back just so I can show a quick view of what the spray bar looks like. You see here the spray bar here, that's what's actually spinning. That bearing with that grease zerk fitting is up in here. And then here's your jets that I was talking about. These jets are pre-installed. They're the correct size. And like I said, as long as we're moving forward when we're using the surface cleaner, we're really reducing any risk of etching onto the surface that you're trying to clean. Another quick feature I'd like to talk about is the skirt on the surface cleaner itself. This really helps reduce backsplash to the operator when you're using it. Keeps the water in the spray underneath the deck. One other feature I'd like to talk about is the front caster. So that caster actually locks when you're pulling out that 50 feet of hose. The unit's not pulling forward with you, making it super convenient to pull that whole 50 feet of hose out. All right, there we have it, a quick overview of the Jarvis 4.0 surface cleaner and pressure washer combo. I'm going to go ahead and roll some footage of a loading dock that I cleaned that was very neglected, hadn't been cleaned in years, and this gives you a really good idea of what this unit is capable of. If you're interested, please reach out to your regional Karcher sales manager or your local Karcher dealer. We'll get one of these units out into your facility and we will do a demo for you. We look forward to talking to you.